Hello. The level 54 astrologian quest is called Conviction, given to us by Ginequinard in Ishgard, the Athenaeum Astrologicum. Here we go. The Vault went and outdid themselves. The location for our next symposium, the Convictory, a makeshift camp for a band of bickering knights. I've spoken at length with Lady Leviva about how we might handle this second inconvenience so as not to meet the same fate we did in Falcon's Nest. Sorry. I fear the worst, but the lady believes that we may be approaching this all wrong, that we should embrace the situation and use it to our advantage. I believe she is merely unaccustomed to the thin alpine air and her wits are not in order. Perchance we should make for the camp and see for ourselves. Okay. That's actually where I thought it was. It's a very small camp in Corthus Western Highlands. 54 for warrior was a pretty big upgrade. A 220 potency damage boost, or potency boost, I suppose, to an ability that we would use pretty frequently. And what did I just do? That was weird. And it changes what we use our Berserk on. This quest also seems to give something. That's not what well, that is what I pressed, but it's not what I meant to press. Malefic 2. So 150. It increases the potency of our spammable single target damage from 150 to 160. Ooh, yay. Cool, thanks. It's nice. Cool, thanks, nice, great. I would rather have gravity increased by 10. I mean, obviously, because that would be a much bigger boost if you think about it, but you can actually take a porter, and I really don't know. 105. Screw that, dude. Never mind. I thought it was like 40. I've said it before, I don't know if the Chocobos are faster. If they were flying in a straight line, I think that they are roughly the same speed as our flying mounts. Alpaca. But they don't fly in a straight line. So, I don't know. Then again, I mean, they don't have to worry about the actual movement speed when it's a programmed course. It could be faster at one point and slower at another with no real regard for any constraints or minimums or whatever on speed. Like that, it's just this little camp. Calling in a Convictory is interesting. Anyway, here's Leviva. Is this Quimperane? Yeah, Quimperane is one hand, one knee down. He's struggling. Ginequinard and Leviva seem fine. There are 2 lancers and an archer who are confronting them. Let's see what's going on. And those 3 knights walk away as I talk to Leviva. Tread lightly, Mercy. This is not the work of bandits. Quimperane's hurts were dealt by the convictors. You were assaulted by the men sworn to protect us. This is madness. The Vault led the knights to believe that a party of astrologians would be arriving to aid them in scrying the location of the Horde's next attack. They took out their frustration on poor Quimperane when they learned I can foretell the whims of a dragon about as well as I can those of Ginequinard. But no, we must not let this discourage us. If words have no weight with these men, then let our magics do the speaking. Quimperane stands. The 3 of them walk away, and we're gonna talk to some wounded convictors and heal them probably. Give me a swift death. That's all I ask. What am I doing? Aspected, but okay. Hot. God damn it. But you're an astrologian. You can't heal people. That's not what astrologians do, he says as he stands up and bows to me. He could have matched the motion with the words, but whatever. Number 2, an archer. Ash, me leg just cut the damn thing off. I can't take much more of this. Aspected benefic. The pain is gone. How did you? See that he had like a questioning hand out. Like how did you? Like, that made more sense. And a wounded convictor. This one also an archer. Leave me. I'm not much longer for this realm. He stands after the heal. My wounds. It is as if they were never there. Wait, who's going to believe that I slew a dragon if I haven't the wounds to show for it? I don't know whether to thank you or slit your throat. Though, I suppose I wouldn't be able to do either if you hadn't healed me with those queer magics, so this day, I see fit to forgive you. Okay. And we talk to Laviva, who is also healing a knight nearby. We have a cutscene. Ooh, I'm going to grab this later. Unless it stays right here. It's not, yeah, I was going to say it's going to zoom in on somebody. Jeanette Renard has healed a human male archer who stands and bows. Jeanette Renard nods back to him. And the archer walks away. Laviva, we can hear, saying, you. She's panting. She's like bent over at the waist. Hurt. Oh, the knight that she was healing is not an actual knight, maybe. What is wrong, Laviva? Have you tapped too deeply into your mental reserves? Perhaps you should take a moment of respite. I'm gonna grab this instead, actually. It's gonna be too big, though. Laviva's down, one hand, one knee down. I think she's been stabbed. Pretty obviously been stabbed. That blood is not the knight's, says Quimperane. Blue-skinned, white hair, some like white kind of lightning kind of drawings that go from above the eye down like through, quote unquote, and then below on each side. Charlene assassin. Ah, the loyal lapdog. Without you to state the obvious, where would your masters be, pray tell? Quimperane draws his short sword and shield. You, again! One might think these markings would betray my identity, but you Eorzeans have a singular capacity to look without seeing. I'm amazed you are not constantly wandering into bonfires or off cliffs. She's still way too close to Laviva. She could have, like, killed her very quickly and easily, but she hasn't for some reason. Her name is Seelie, Charlie E-L-I-E. I have grown weary of this masquerade, and I am done with entrusting my fate to this realm's blundering mercenaries. My name is Seelie, and I am here to take the Lady Laviva into custody so that she can be transported back to Charlene and tried for her crimes. Taken into custody? On whose authority? Says Laviva, still one hand, one knee down. You are here without permission of the Forum, performing acts which amount to treason. Your grandfather has already been detained and questioned. I am giving you the opportunity to turn yourself in and put an end to this farce once and for all. Do as I say and no one will be harmed, yourself included, Lady Laviva. But Lady Laviva, I thought you and your grandfather were dispatched on an official expedition, says Jeanette Quinard. It seems that Laviva has not told you everything. Did you know that it was her father who was killed nearly 15 summers past? 15 summers past, Jeanette Quinard. Your adventurer friend seems already to have put two and two together. Why she didn't tell you earlier, I cannot fathom. What else are they leaving you out of, Jeanette Quinard de Durandare? But silence. He draws his... What are they called? I've had a bunch of them, I don't know what they're called, but his astrologian weapon. What are they called? Whatever. Globes? I think they're globes. Like, I've had one that's called Star Globe, I think. But I think globes. This is my final warning. When you see me again, you will either give yourself up, or you will die at my blade. Think on that, Laviva. She sheathes and runs. Mercy. Lady Laviva's wound is deep. I do not believe I can heal it on my own. Lend me your aid. That was also Jeanette Quinard, but I have changed his accent Accidentally. I have no idea why. I lack the capacity to heal Lady Laviva on my own. We must combine our benefic magics. I think I could just do it solo, but it's fine. Cool. Cutscene after giving her my hot. Yeah. Thank you, my friends. For someone who claims she was hired to bring me back to Charlian, her aim was quite true. Lady Laviva, this Seelie claimed that you are not here with the blessing of the Forum. Is this so? Why did you not see fit to mention this? My grandfather knew the Forum would never allow us to come to Ishgard. Yeah. And that their contemplation over the matter was merely a tactic to stall and discourage us. The stars had spoken to my grandfather, and he was not about to turn a deaf ear to them. I kept silent because I did not wish to let the petty politicking of men thousands of miles to the north stand in the way of our dream to spread the word of Charlian astrology. And such was my father's dream, until he was killed for it by closed-minded peasants. But Rufin never once spoke ill of those he wished to enlighten, even at his end. How do you know my father's name? Your father and I became close friends when I was in Charlian. When the Exodus forced me to return home, he asked if he could accompany me, saying that he wished to try and convince those who once believed in the stars' power to look to the skies again. And we did for several moons. My countrymen were deeply skeptical and slow to warm to the idea of heathen magics. Some were even rude, but he never gave up on them, right up until he was... I was there during your father's last moments. I heard a commotion come from his room late one night and went in to check, only to find him bleeding and slumped over his diary, which he was writing when he was attacked. With his last strength, he handed me the diary and asked that I do not blame my people, and that I continue our work. I believe this belongs with you now. So he had handed her something, and now I have realized it's his diary. A big red book. I do not know if I can forgive those who killed my father. I do not expect you to forgive us yet, but knowing that he did, even at the moment of his death, perhaps will help you one day understand. You have always reminded me of Rufin, even before I knew he was your father. Your passion for your discipline equals his own. Oh, my internet was lost. As you can see, obviously, if you can see. Interesting. No, sorry, not my internet was lost, my connection with the server. That has not happened a whole lot. Did anybody else get kicked? Nobody else is currently saying anything in my Discord for the game, for my free company. Not my free company, but the free company that I am a part of, although I'm not really. I don't do anything. I just am in it. Sometimes I talk. Maybe a lot of people did, though, because 175 people in the queue is extremely not common. Maybe nobody in my free company is actually online right now. I don't know. Well, you're free to fast forward until I get back on. That was really quick, though. So maybe I'm not the only one. Yeah, that queue should have been a lot longer if, like, it should have taken a lot longer. I already healed her. That's fine. I can do it again. I can't skip the whole thing. I believe I was still in the middle of it. I'm gonna go until at least I see the book in her hands. Father, did you know what fate awaited you in this realm? Did you see all this? Did the stars have you merely paved the way for me? If they did, then I shall not allow anyone to stand in your way, says Quimperane, speaking for the first time in this. You are right, good man, and so I shall allow this breach of etiquette, but if you fail to address Lady Leviva properly again, I'll have you spit shining the privy back at Durndare Manor. Oh, leave him be, Jean Equinard. Without Quimperane here, I'd have been tied up and shipped back to the old world moons ago. The stars have him here with me. He's not going anywhere, and neither am I. I am done with symposiums. That is not what my father wanted. He came here not to speak of astrology, he came here to use it, and so that is what I shall do. There are still many convictors who can benefit from these magics. And what a better way to convince people of your greatness than by ensuring they remain alive long enough to sing your praises? Quimperane nods at this. Shane, will you tell me of my father? He smiles. I would be delighted, my lady, unless, that is, you mean now, as I have a prior engagement with a pair of lovely baronesses from House Dismail, and I would not wish to keep them waiting. I don't know why he looks to me when he says that, but I give him a nod, and he leaves? What? That was weird. Ooh, 106. Oh yeah, I forgot that I had remade it into one of my favorites because the Warrior, Astrologian, and Bard quests are having me come to this area somewhat frequently. Okay, so it was another DDoS attack. Interesting. Hasn't happened for a while. Well, it hasn't happened when I have been on for quite a while. But when I had my nose surgery, and was unable to go to work for like a week and a day, it was happening during the day frequently enough. But then not as much, not really a lot at all during, and I guess right now is kind of sort of during, like, people on the East Coast would be home maybe like 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago, give or take whatever their commute is. And then give or take, obviously, like a 5 p.m. Stop time for their job. But anyway, thanks for bearing with me. Hopefully you fast forwarded. But here's Jean Equinard to finish the quest back in Ishgard. To think that my old friend Rufin may have seen what grim fate awaited him in Ishgard, but chose to come anyway, knowing that it would inspire both me and his daughter. God, sometimes these celestial machinations are simply too grand in scope to grasp. However, if it is as we believe, then we must, as Quimperane so bluntly stated, make sure that not disrupt us on our path to that fate. Perhaps it is time I revealed to you a more powerful form of malefic, so that you might be better prepared for the trials that are to follow. Ah, that furrow upon your brow suggests you could have used the spell early in your training. In retrospect, I would be inclined to agree. Haha. As I said earlier, it's only a 10-point boost to Malefic. 49,920 experience points, a somewhat sad 993 gil. You get our little final cutscene. We're like, we got it! Rah! We got it. Yeah, Jenny, we got it. Alright. Shinequinard and myself, thank you for watching. I haven't had a... How'd that happen? I haven't had a minion for a while. What did I do to get rid of? Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time. You can see a little fawn back there. It says bye-bye too. Okay, bye.